Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Davis Field for tonight's Heart of America men's soccer conference matchup between the Wildcats of Baker University and your number 24 nationally ranked Central Methodist Eagles. We ask that all players, coaches, and spectators abide by the NAIA Champions of Character values, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. And now let's meet the starters for tonight's contest. First, for the visiting team on the scoreboard, Baker University. Number 2, Falco Dykes. Number 9, Georgie Camaris. Number 10, Hunter French. Number 13, Noah Tepeni. Number 14, Tony Salas. Number 17, TJ Labeer. Number 20, Sahal Arwo. Number 25, Mason Anderson. Number 29, Milan Nikolic. Number 30, Mo Salas. And in goal, number 1, Michael Stoker. The Wildcats are led by head coach Nick Aguilar, and he's assisted by Sean McAllister, Michael Clayton, and Andy Grudenbaum. And now let's meet the starting lineups for your number 24 nationally ranked Central Methodist Eagles. Sophomore defender, number 2, Martin O'Toole. Freshman defender, number 3, Jan Bechter. Junior defender, number 5, Adrian Stock. Junior defender, number 6, Basil Erne. A senior forward, number 7, Isaac Johnson. A senior midfielder, number 10, Matthias Stork. Sophomore forward, number 11, Koen Schimmel. Freshman midfielder, number 12, Mats van der Eerden. A senior forward, number 17, Jayton Johnson. Sophomore forward, number 26, Sofiane Jauzi. And in goal, sophomore, number 27, Morris Van Tunen. The Eagles are led by head coach Adam Galla, and he's assisted by Eli Sherman and Darren Jones. Good luck to both teams.
All right, welcome into Heart of America Athletic Conference Men's Soccer Conference Tournament, regular season action. All right, so this is the second game of our soccer conference doubleheader. This matchup tonight features the Wildcats of Baker University out of Baldwin City, Kansas, just about 30 minutes west of Kansas City, and against your number 24 nationally ranked Central Methodist Eagles. Ernay. That's Isaac Johnson with it now. So the Wildcats enter this matchup with a 4-1-3 record. They are 1-0-0 in conference play. Took on William Penn on Saturday, and that's the reason that this was the first match, the conference match tonight for the Baker women's, because William Penn had some travel troubles. So they said that game is canceled, but I don't know if that's how that works. So they'll have to most likely reschedule that game for another time back down in Baldwin City. But alas, Wildcats of Baker, led by head coach Nick Aguilar, 4-1-3 so far this year, while CMU is 3-2-2 overall. That Schimmel goes out of bounds. So I had a quick pause there while the official had a discussion with the wall that is in front of the goal there. Vander Eden. Nothing. It's cleared. Baker's got a counter. Oh, I don't. CMU tied in their conference opener up at Mount Mercy 1-1. That was this past Saturday in Cedar Rapids. So Baker free kick. Sent into the box. Just under 40 minutes. That's Anderson with it. Mason Anderson right at Van Tunen. I'd give that a shot. It's first save of the night for Van Tunen. Wildcats led by head coach Nick Aguilar. Nick, a longtime assistant under Nate Hauser, who I talked about on the women's broadcast. Served as head coach for both men's and women's programs for a long time, and when he stepped into his AD role, he resumed his head coaching responsibilities with the men. but has since transitioned into another role on campus, so that's where Nick Aguilar takes on the role of head coach. So far, Wildcats with a 4-1-3 record here. As that ball goes out, that'll be in favor of CMU. Of course, the Wildcats, they earned I think I said they won earlier, but it was actually a 1-1 draw against William Penn in Baldwin City. So they mirror the conference record of the Eagles, so both squads looking to get their first win of conference play, just the second heart matchup of the year for both sides. Ball just a little bit too far out in front. It'll go with Baker on that throw in. So looking at CMU's schedule thus far, they won their opener against William Woods and then lost a tough battle against Rockhurst on August 31st, 2-1. And then they cruised past Southwestern Christian 6-1, and before dropping a contest to University of Missouri St. Louis, which is a D2. And then they picked up a win against John Brown, and the winning goal scorer right there was Isaac Johnson, who just fired off a shot. It was blocked, though. He had the game winner with about 4 or 5 minutes left. And then the Eagles tied Columbia College and Mount Mercy. So looking to get back on the winning side of things. Again, ties aren't necessarily bad, but when you start getting into the thick of postseason standings and seeding, wins will do you more than draws and losses. So we'll see what result comes of this match tonight. Of course, the Eagles are under first-year head coach Adam Galla. Coach Galla making the short trip over from Westminster College in Fulton, Missouri. He was named head coach, I believe, in May of this year. Even possession so far. It's Vander Earden with it. Sends that back to Stock. Adrian Stock, a junior defender, up to Erne. Erne, kind of a utility player. He'll play anywhere that you need him to. Jowsey. Nice dish up to Schimmel. Schimmel sends one in. Johnson. Good defense by Baker, but that one rolls across the face of goal. And we'll get a foul. That'll be on Jowsey. Collided with him on the track, and that never feels good. Just under 36 minutes remaining here in half number one. O'Toole heads that one. Jowsey. Turned over, though. Baker comes away with it now. Over to Mason Anderson. Anderson. Turned right back over. Jayton Johnson. And we'll get a foul. Looked like a little bit of an eye poke there. Definitely a grab at the face. We'll see if anything's called. And we'll get a stoppage in play as the trainer's going to come out and take a look. It's going to be training staff of Andy Seaton. So Stort goes down again. He's one of those fleet-footed players that if you don't keep track of him, he'll cruise past you in the blink of an eye. So he's going to come out as they take a look at him. That'll be a free kick for the Eagles from about the 21. Say Schimmel, Erne, and Isaac Johnson both back there. We'll see who ends up taking this. 34-41 on the clock here. First half action. Both sides looking to get their first conference win of the year. 0-1 so far here. Official provides some instructions to the wall. See what is decided. Again, we're going to have another conversation. And Jowsey was kind of in the middle of that wall, and I don't know if it... Schimmel drills it. That's blocked, though. Scooped up by Baker, and they'll come with the other way. Johnson, some nice moves, stays with it. Double teamed, that'll go out. Official sends that the way of Baker. Ball goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats. So person thrown in is going to go way back. We'll see if he does a flip of some sort. Oh, just a super long throw-in. He sends it in. Van Tunen punches it out. Ball still in play, right back at Van Tunen, though. Stock over to Erne in the middle. Erne. We'll give and go Schimmel. Tony Salas with it. Georgie Kamaris. Georgie Kamaris, bright spot for the Wildcats in the AIL American. Looking for Anderson. Headed back. Salas. Good tackle by Vander Eerden. Baker maintains possession, though. And we'll get a foul on, I believe that's Isaac Johnson, or excuse me, that's Martin O'Toole. We'll get a stop on the clock. And thought he might be issuing a yellow card to O'Toole, but I don't think so. Oh, and he does. He gave... So Mats Vander Eerden picks up the first yellow card of the night for CMU. Thought O'Toole may have committed the foul. Maybe Vander Eerden did a little too much talking, the official said. That's not how that works, so he goes in the book. We'll get a free kick for Baker from about the 15. Low driving shot. Baker defends it well on the wall. We'll get another stoppage in play. And we'll get a yellow card for Baker. So Tony Salas picks up the yellow card for Baker. So in a span of about 30 seconds, we have our first two yellow cards of the night. So buckle up if you're sitting at home. Get your popcorn ready because this is going to be a physical game from start to finish. Ball's headed back. Goes in favor of Baker. So another throw in for the Wildcats, and they've had a majority of the possession here to start this first 15 minutes. Ball's thrown in. Cleared, though, by Baker, and they've got an opportunity to a little bit of a jailbreak. Not before Baker's defense stymies any attack. I'll go to bounds, so Baker will earn the throw-in, and I believe that's number 17, TJ LeBeer, on the throw-in. Dishes it over to number 29, Milan Nikolic. Nikolic to Anderson. Anderson, and he comes up limping. He may have gotten stepped on. We'll get a stoppage and play on the clock. It's our third stoppage in about 3 minutes. So, again, a physical game here. So, Andy Seaton coming out to tend to Anderson. So, we'll take a quick break here. You're listening to CMU Eagles Men's Soccer here on the Heart Conference Network. So another foul, this time on Baker. So just under 29 minutes here for first half action. CMU and Baker looking for their first conference win of the year. Erne back to Stock and over to Johnson. Schimmel. It's Kuhn Schimmel with it. Over to Jayton Johnson. Johnson. Foul is called. That'll go in favor of the Wildcats. So even though early on this game, 2 shots for CMU, 1 for Baker. Shot on goal was their lone shot. The Wildcats was a shot on goal. Already 9 fouls. A couple of yellow cards here early on. So, again, NAIA soccer is physical enough, but you put it in the Heart of America Athletic Conference, with a number of nationally ranked programs vying for a national championship each and every year. Tempers are bound to flare, so I'm sure we'll see some of that tonight. Johnson, that was Schimmel. Schimmel to Johnson. Isaac Johnson, a great save by the goalkeeper, just punches that one away. So Isaac Johnson one-on-one with Stoger in goal. Stoger, just a freshman from Hornstein, Austria. It's a great save from the freshman. Jayton Johnson with his signature flip. He's looking for Isaac Johnson. It's cleared, though. Stork with it now. Stork. He goes down. Good tackle by Kamaris, and you can see why he's an All-American. His speed. We'll get a stoppage in play. Isaac Johnson protests. The official says, no, you will not be doing that this evening. So, ball sent to the way of Van Tunen. Sends it right up to Stock. Stock to Erne. Erne, a 2021 NAIL American in his first year. Van Tunen clears that and just launches that to the other edge of the field. Erne. Good defense by Arwo of Baker. Just constant pressure from the Wildcats here early on. CMU's trying to find a rhythm offensively. That's Tolbert. Sends it over to Kamaris. Kamaris goes down, and I believe that Tolbert was the one that replaced Mason Anderson. He went down with a foot injury of some sort. I think he may have gotten stepped on. So we'll do I believe this will be a corner kick. Salas will take this. Tony Salas, a senior forward out of KCK, attended Bishop Miege High School. Both sides looking for their first goal. First goal of the evening. Short kick. Flicked on. Ball. Headed, and that's going to be an own goal. So Baker takes an early 1-0 lead. I'm going to call that an own goal. Of course, the folks at home, you guys can feel free to message us on Twitter, or actually, yeah, just message me. Or if you have my number, then I guess you can text me. We can talk about it. But I'm going to give that an own goal at the moment. But regardless, CMU trails 1-0 early on in this game. It was on a low liner corner kick from Salas. Again, the bigger folks that are watching, that no, you all just let me know. We can talk about it after the game, or even in game. Either way, Central trails 1-0 here. CMU's got some work to do to get back in this. Again, just a solid set piece and an own goal by the Eagles. Just headed back, and defense is kind of caught in no man's land there, and Wildcats made them pay. So Van Tunen. That ball goes out in favor of the Wildcats. Erne. Vander Eerden. O'Toole sends this one up to Jayton Johnson. Johnson with some space. Johnson flicks it. Great save by the keeper. Keeps it out of the back of the net. Again, that was the first real scoring opportunity for the Eagles, just coming minutes after an own goal. Put Baker up 1-0 here in the first half action. Again, we'll get another stoppage in plays. I think there's just a little too much talking going on. And the official's going to come have a conversation about where this ball is going to be placed. And I think he's having a conversation with Georgie Kamaris over there for Baker. Clock resumes. Vander Eerden to Johnson. Johnson to Jowsey. Jowsey with some space. Jowsey still with it. Jowsey over to Johnson. Flicked and headed. Cleared. Stays in play, though. Stork with it now. And he'll say that one out of the back of the end zone, so that'll be a goal kick for the Wildcats. But CMU, a couple good scoring opportunities here about midway through the first half. And if you're just now joining us, Baker took a 1-0 lead about 4 or 5 minutes ago on an own goal, on a set piece, which was a corner. Van Tunen scoops that one up. Bechter back to Van Tunen. Van Tunen. Up to Jowsey. Baker with possession. Kuhn Schimmel giving chase. Now to Stork. Stork back to Schimmel. Little give and go. So Stork wanted a jersey pull on that, and the official said no, play on. So we will continue. Erne. Nice move. Erne to Stork. Stork back to Erne. Stoger's going to send it upfield. And that ball struck, goes up through the goalposts, and that'll be a goal kick for the Eagles. Yes. So Matt at Baker, thank you for your input. He also agrees that's an own goal, but just want to make sure you get it right. Jowsey, that goes out of play, goes in favor of CMU. So throw in for Jayton Johnson. Johnson, a senior. Schimmel, he's got some space. Schimmel looking for some help in the middle. They didn't get it, and Stork wasn't able to chase it down, so that'll go in favor of the Wildcats on a throw-in. Ernay to Stork. Salas with it. Back to Stork, though. Again, just a pass right to the Wildcats, and no one really wants possession at the moment. Isaac Johnson goes in favor of Baker. And just a back and forth game here. Just about 17 and a half minutes remaining here in half number 1. Johnson keeps it in play. Say Kamaris called for the foul. He didn't like it, but the officials say this goes the other way. Official says, come on back. I think 10 yards of space is the minimum on a free kick. Ernay sends that across the way to O'Toole. O'Toole up to Johnson. Johnson headed out. Again, good defense by Baker, but CMU will get their first opportunity at a set piece. It'll be a corner kick. We'll see who ends up taking this. I think business as usual, it'll be Kuhn Schimmel. Schimmel sends this one in. Headed. Still in play. Jayton Johnson tracks it down on the other side. That ball goes out of play, so that'll be a goal kick for the Wildcats here. It's about 16 minutes left here in half number 1. Ernay. Again, just a miscommunication there. Was looking for Isaac Johnson. Baker comes away with it, but right as I say that, Jowsey with it now. A little too much jersey pulling, so quick foul and a quick free kick taken for CMU. That ball goes out. Ernay tried to keep it in, but we'll get our first few substitutions of the evening. Coach Gallo likes to make 3 substitutions. Looks like number 21, Leonardo Chuli, Liam Arthur, I believe, and then Alvaro Perojo. So a trio of substitutions for Central here as we've gone through the first 30 minutes of action. Ball over Bechter's head. Bechter comes away with it. O'Toole on the far sideline, looking for Schimmel. Headed back. And defense just elects to get that to Stoger. Jayton Johnson giving chase. That'll go out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for the Eagles, and we'll have a host of substitutions. Number 8, Alvaro Perojo. Number 21, Leonardo Chuli. And number 9, Liam Arthur. Coming off will be number 12, Mats van der Eerden. Number 26, Sofiane Jowsey. And then Jayton Johnson, number 17. Some fresh legs here in the first half hour of action for the Eagles. And see if those substitutions can make a difference here as we close in on the conclusion of first half action. Chuli over to Perojo. Perojo to Ernay. Ernay, left-footed strike. Sends it into the box. Cleared, though. O'Toole. Perojo. Perojo fires off a shot. Deflected. Out of bounds. That'll go in favor of Central, though, and they'll get a corner kick on the far side. Baker will make a substitution here at the next whistle. That'll be number 7, Axel Cesaro Lara. Erne with the kick over everyone's head, out of bounds, out of play. This will be a goal kick for the Wildcats. So Lara comes on. He's going to replace number 30, Mo Salas. Lara, senior midfielder out of Kansas City. Actually a transfer from William Penn University. So the Eagles are hosting football this coming Saturday. So if you guys are around, make sure you come on down to Davis Field for that. Erne. Johnson keeps it in play. Official disagrees, and so that'll go the other way. Finn Gaywood, number 22, freshman midfielder out of London, England. He'll come in. We'll see who he replaces. He'll replace number 10, Hunter French. Johnson to Stork. Stork over to O'Toole. O'Toole. Schimmel to Chuli. Chuli. Arthur was right there. Eagles maintain possession, though. It's Johnson. Johnson to Erne. Back to Johnson. Johnson to Erne. Headed. That was Arthur, just a little bit too far out. I think it was deflected, and it was, so that'll be a throw in deep for CMU in Wildcat territory. They'll take it quickly. Perojo, good job by Perojo to keep that possession in favor of CMU. Johnson goes out of bounds. Again, that'll be another throw in for CMU deep in Wildcat territory. So we're just about 10 minutes away from the halftime. Headed. Perojo. A lot of fouls called early on, and it's been a physical match, so if you like physical soccer, this is exactly your cup of tea. Stork will take this free kick, either Stork or Chuli. Official providing some instructions. Stork will take this. Again, headed away, and Baker's got several players over 6 foot and a few over 6'2", 6'3", so hard to get over that wall. But taken. Headed again by Arthur just over the crossbar, and that's kind of one of his signature goal scoring moves. It's his second of the night. Stoger sends this one deep. Van Tunen comes out of off his line and clears that. Looking for Arthur. Arthur. That's Chuli. Perojo over to Johnson. Johnson back to Stork. Stork. Perojo. He scored in the match against Mount Mercy. Perojo. See if CMU can maintain possession. They do. Erne sends it back to Stock. Stock over to Bechter. Bechter back to Stock. Erne as they try to push up field. Looking for Stork. That ball goes over everyone's head. Defensive miscue by CMU, so Baker's got an opportunity inside the box. Shot taken. Couple more substitution for Central as we're just a little over 7 minutes remaining here in half number 1. It's going to be number 22, Angelo Estella Delani. And number 16, Cesar Queller. Johnson over to Erne. Erne looking for Arthur. Arthur's got to track it down. And good job by Stork to prevent that ball from getting clear to the other side of the field. Stays in. Georgie Kamaris with it. He goes down. We'll get a stoppage in play, and I think Perojo is going to get issued his first yellow card of the evening, and he does. Again, he doesn't agree with it. The official says it's not how it works, though. I'm the one that issues the yellow, so that'll be his first booking of the evening. He'll go down. And again, we'll run you guys through halftime stats here in just in a few minutes as we wrap things up here in first half. Clock stopped at 6:34. Again, this is Rachel Moore, Assistant AD and Director of Athletic Communications here at Central, bringing you the call for tonight. Appreciate everyone tuning in from Baker, CMU, or if you're just watching from the heart of America. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Ball sent in. Van Tunen comes up and grabs that, and Van Tunen at about 6'9". You want a tall goalkeeper back there, and that's what he's there for, so he makes easy work of that. So again, a couple substitutions for the Eagles here when the official deems them able to come in, and that time is now. So Delani and Queller will replace Johnson. It's Isaac Johnson. And Kuhn Schimmel. Their first half is done. I imagine we'll see them in the second half. O'Toole. Say Baker giving chase. He elects just to get it back to Van Tunen. Van Tunen will reset. Van Tunen launches it over to Erne. We'll see if he can keep it in play. Heads it. Erne with Stork giving chase. We'll see if Stoker can beat him, and he does. Stork. Baker with possession now. Erne. Back to Van Tunen. Again, some pushing and shoving. That'll go in favor of CMU. We'll get another stoppage in play. Again, just a lot of talking going on this evening. A lot of debating with the officials, but Say he'll have a conversation with Noah Tapini. Stock over to Bechter. Bechter up to Chuli. Stork. Chuli. A little over 3.5 minutes left here. CMU trails 1-0 on an own goal, which was scored on a set piece in a corner early on in the opening 15 minutes. And Baker's got another goal scoring opportunity. Here's Kamaris. Kamaris fakes out a defender. Van Tunen right there. Kamaris got it. Georgie Kamaris puts Baker up 2-0 here. Just a little under 3.5 minutes, and Kamaris just put the move on a couple of Eagle defenders, and Morris Van Tunen just in no man's land, and easy work for Kamaris, and he gives the Wildcats a 2-0 lead here at Davis Field. We'll reset. And Arthur gets called for the foul, so free kick for the Wildcats. Again, we'll provide you guys some halftime stats before we head to break. We'll have about 15 minutes on the clock in between, and then we'll get second half action underway shortly after that. Arthur, back to O'Toole. Arthur, still with it. Wildcats come away with it. Perojo to Erne, back to Perojo, little give and go. Jersey tug, official says play on. Ball sent in. Collision in the box, we play on though. 2 minutes remaining here in half number one. Wildcat throwing deep in their own territory. CMU will be pressing here. Trying to at least get one goal back before we hit the halftime break here. That'll go in favor of Baker. Well, one official said the way of Baker, then the head official said no, it's going the other way. So head official usually win that conversation, and he did. So CMU will get this ball back. Stork over to Queller on the field now. Substitution for CMU early on. O'Toole looking for Chuli. Chuli with, and again, a great save by Baker. Stoker came way off his line, and he was caught in no man's land, and just an unlucky bounce and a great save from the Wildcat defense. Queller. Just under 40 seconds left here. Van Tunen clears it. See if Baker has one last offensive push here as we wrap things up here in the first half. Chuli sends one in, headed away. Ernay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's going to do it here for first half action at Davis Field. An own goal by CMU put Baker up 1-0 early on, and then just getting a goal by Georgie Kamaris right before the halftime break. So we'll take a quick break here. We'll be right back. We'll bring you some stats here. You're listening to CMU Eagles Men's Soccer here on the Heart Conference Network. All right, we are back. So some quick stats for you folks listening at home. Excuse me, watching at home, I should say, as well. People are giving me grief that you guys are watching and listening at the same time, so I will say watching. 9 shots for CMU compared to just 5 for Baker, but 4 of Baker's 5 shots have come on frame, including a goal by Georgie Kamaris in the closing moments of this first half. 3 shots on goal for the Eagles, a pair of saves for each keeper, 4 corners for CMU, so they've had some opportunities on set pieces. 17 combined fouls between both sides. We've got 3 yellow cards here early on. So Baker well in control in that first half, looking to pick up their first conference win of the year. They currently sit at 4-1-3 in the overall ranking. Eagles come in there 3-2-2. So we'll take a quick break. There's about 13 and a half minutes left on the clock here for halftime. So we'll be right back. Again, we appreciate everyone tuning in. Shout out to my team for all that they do. So don't go away. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to CMU Eagles Men's Soccer here on the Heart Conference Network. All right, so we resume second half action here. CMU trails the Wildcats 2-0. An own goal early on, and then a goal from All-American Georgie Kamaris has the Wildcats up 2-0 here. Nikola Cabras replaces Van Tunen in goal, so switch there for the Eagles. So CMU attacking from left to right on your screen. Baker going from right to left. Again, if you missed the first game, CMU women, number 9 ranked team in the country. They dropped one spot from number 8 last week to 9. Cruised to a 4-0 victory over the Baker women. Mats van der Eerden over to Erne. Erne to Johnson. Johnson's got some wheels. Johnson sends one in. He's looking for Schimmel. And Kamaris goes down. They'll call a foul, I believe, on number 2, Martin O'Toole. We'll get a stoppage in play. Eagles led by head coach Adam Galla in his first year with the program. Assistant coach Eli Sherman, he's in year 3. And Darren Jones also providing assistance for the men's staff. For Baker, their head coach Nick Aguilar. He's assisted by Sean McAllister, Michael Clayton, and Andy Grudenbaum as the goalkeeper coach. O'Toole. Schimmel. Over to Arthur. Turned over, goes in the favor of Baker. Parojo. See, Wildcats still with it. See if they can get an offensive push here. Kamaris, nice move on O'Toole. Kamaris stays with it. Be a CMU throw-in. Excuse me, a Wildcat throw-in. Deep in their own territory. So again, we talk about the Heart of America Athletic Conference for men's soccer. The past 5 or 6 years, it's just been absolutely stacked from top to bottom. You've got 4 or 5 teams each week in the national rating. They call it rating now. It's not a poll anymore, which I find interesting. But looking at it here, Mid-America Nazarene leads the way. They're ranked number 6 in the country. They moved one spot from 7 to 6. And then William Penn, who made a great run in last year's Hart Tournament Championship, he's number 15 this week. Missouri Valley, number 22. They dropped one spot from 21 last week. And then CMU dropped 2 spots from 22 to 24. But then also receiving votes are Grandview. The Vikings, as Schimmel sends this one in. Headed away by Baker. So Grandview receiving votes, and if I'm doing my math correctly, I think that's 5 teams from the heart of America. And again, 3 of the last 5 national champions have come out of the heart of America. Of course, 2 of those were CMU in 2018-19, and then Missouri Valley that following year in 2020 during that interesting year of COVID when we were playing fall national championships in April. It was volleyball, men's soccer, women's soccer, cross country. You name any fall sport, we were probably playing it in March and April. So glad we're getting further away from that time period, because that was certainly an interesting time. Throw-in will go in favor of CMU. And Columbia College, who CMU drew with the other night, moved up 1 spot to number 14. We'll get a corner kick, I believe. We'll see who takes this. I think that's going to be Johnson over there, Isaac Johnson. Schimmel's also over there as well, and traditionally Schimmel's the one that takes those. And a lot of whistles being blown. I'm not sure what's going on, but he's providing instruction to the wall that I assume is going to be going up. That's stacked in front of Stoger over there in goal. Schimmel sends this one in. Headed. Punched away by Stoger. Stork with it, and he's quick-footed. I think that'll be a throw-in for the Eagles, and it will be because Isaac Johnson's going to come over and take it. O'Toole sends one into the box. Headed in. I think that was Perojo, just a little bit too far out in front. Correction, Adrian Stock on the header. He and Perojo are about the same size. And honestly, when they're all down there stacked in the box, you see someone pop up, you take your best guess, and then you confirm with your statistician after. And that's exactly what we did. Perojo now with it. Johnson, Stork heads it. Liam Arthur stays upright, maintains possession. Ball kicked out by Baker, but CMU will have a throw and we'll have a stoppage in play. Just 7.5 minutes into this second half. And Andy and his staff will come out and take a look. So we'll take a quick break here. CMU trails 2-0 here, 37-34 remaining against Baker. So we'll take a quick break. You're listening to CMU Eagles Men's Soccer here on the Hard Conference Network. Perojo. Vector to Stork. Stork to Van der Eerden. Van der Eerden finds Schimmel. Schimmel's got a little bit of breakaway. His breakaway speed. Schimmel, good defense by Baker. I believe that's Mason Anderson over there. And it was. He gets high fives from his teammates as CMU will get a corner kick on a set piece, though. That ball sent in. Cleared. Ball sent in again. Bechter, the header. Stoger comes up and grabs it. We'll get a whistle and maybe not no. Perojo went down, and official just doing his job to check on him. Erne. Stork. Van der Eerden. Up to ball sent in. Deflected. I think that'll be another corner for CMU. Schimmel will take this one on the far side. Again, CMU moving from left to right on your screen in terms of goal scoring opportunities. Baker going the other way from right to left. CMU's had a lot of possession early on in this first half. Schimmel sends it in. Headed away. Erne sends a skyrocket in. Stoger just goes up and grabs that as Adrian Stock was right there, but Stoger snagged that one. Erne. Isaac Johnson to Stork. Stork up to Johnson. Johnson goes down, and everyone immediately is raising their hands for a foul and a quick stoppage in play from the official. And Isaac Johnson pleading his case for harsher punishment, but I think they'll just say that'll be a free kick. So you have Stork and Erne. It'll just end up being Erne here on the near side. Erne sends this one into the box. Stoger falls down, and goalkeeper win those battles every time. There's some protection on the goalkeeper in those instances, and I think he collided with just a foul, I think. O'Toole. Dicus. Dicus, excuse me. Looking at my pronunciation guide, and I need to be paying attention. Shout out to you, Matt, for providing that, and always helps, especially when we have several international players from many different areas. As that shot goes wide, and looks like that was number 10, Hunter French. He was asking for a corner kick. He thought it was deflected. The official says no, it'll be a simple goal kick for Nicolo Cabras. So that's what it will be. O'Toole to Bechter. Bechter stays with it. Quick counterattack there from Baker with some help from Aguilar. That ball is launched right at Cabras, though. That was Noah Tepine, number 13 on the shot. Might have had a deflection on it, too. So looking at CMU's upcoming schedule, as so the goalkeeper came off of his line and a little bit of an open space there for the Eagles. Central still with it. Had a few too many soccer balls on the field, I think, so we had a stoppage in play so we can get that squared away. So looking at CMU's upcoming schedule here. After tonight, and it's in! Goal! So as I'm about ready to start reading off schedules for next week, Kuhnschim will just fire a laser into the back of the net. So quick strike from CMU here, and they've cut this deficit in half on Baker, and it's a brand new ball game here at Davis Field as CMU just trails 2-1, and he's been lurking all evening. And CMU finally gets to put one in the back of the net, because their offensive production has outpaced Baker for a majority of this game. They just haven't been able to put any of those shots away. They finally get one. And again, like I said, a new ball game here. And again, as the intensity builds in this game, we'll have more and more hooting and hollering from not only the fans, but the players and the sidelines. So expect the intensity of this game to ramp up here in the final 30 minutes of play. So that'll be a free kick for Camaras and Baker. And that's a pretty good spot if you're a Wildcat fan. And we'll get a stoppage in play here as we tend either to an injury timeout or someone just tying their shoe. Regardless, we're having a conversation with Isaac Johnson, and then I believe that's Martin O'Toole over there. My graduate assistant Streeter would agree that those players are who we thought they were. So any of you NFL fans know that reference. Good for you. Kamara sends this one in. Kamaris with the strike, deflected by a CMU defender, and I'm going to say that was Adrian Stock, but we'll go to the other side as Wildcats will get a corner going the other way. Ball taken quickly. Finds the back of that. Goal for Baker. And just like that, the Wildcats answer back. 29:07 remaining. And that was number 29, Milan Nikolic, for the Wildcats. So just when CMU gets one back, Baker answers within the next 2 minutes, and the Wildcats lead 3-1 here at Davis Field. Nikolic, a junior defender from Serbia. He doesn't have height or weight on here, so I assume he's either a new addition or coaches just haven't provided his height or his weight. One of those is probably correct, but regardless, doesn't matter in this instant. He gives Baker a 3-1 lead here. And CMU's got to start the climb back once again. We'll see if they can do it. Kamaris with it again. Kamaris, nice move from Kamaris, just dribbling through defenders. He goes down. And we'll get a stoppage in play, and we'll see if Adrian Stock gets carded. And he will, so yellow card assessed to number 5, Adrian Stock. 28-21 left on the clock here. So it'll be a free kick for the Wildcats, depending on where our head official decides to spot this ball. It looks like it's going to be around the 22 or 23. And you guessed it, Kamaris will take this one. Georgia junior forward out of Hungary. He's earned All-American honors before, so you can see why Wildcat fans enjoy having him, and he's put his stamp on this match. And we'll see what he does here on a free kick. Kamaris, just over top. So Central will get that goal kick, and Cabras will work quickly. Sends it over to Bechter. Back to Cabras, and he's got to get rid of it quickly. He's got a couple Wildcat defenders pressing him. Over to Ernay. Ernay back to Stock. Stork falls down. Possession goes in favor of the Wildcats. Mason Anderson with it on the far side. Mason actually on the Association of Student Athletes at the conference level, so he works with our HASA rep here at CMU, KJ Johnson, so they know each other well and work together on representing the student athletes, not only at their own schools, but to the rest of the conference. So you'll be hearing probably a lot more from them this year as we go along. Baker will take the quick throw in, intercepted by Johnson. Parojo over to O'Toole. O'Toole looking for Arthur. Van der Eerden. Arthur still with it. It's Liam Arthur dribbling through numerous defenders. Wildcats eventually come away with it on the defensive side, and they'll go the other way. Again, a quick strike from Schimmel early on in this match, and less than 2 minutes later. Responds right back. Here's Arthur with a shot. Just wide of the mark, and you have to think that he's going to want that back. And again, he just missed that corner seam of the net by mere inches, and again, CMU's had some goal scoring opportunities this evening. We'll have a substitution for Baker. It's going to be Finn Gaywood. He'll come on in, and he's going to replace number 10, Hunter French, it looks like. Dykes will throw this one in. Dykes taking a long time to throw this one in. Eventually gets it. Stock just lets Cabras send this one. Ernay streaking down the field. Ernay's got some speed. Over to Van der Eerden. Van der Eerden has some space over here on the near side. He sends it to O'Toole. O'Toole maintains possession. O'Toole to Van der Eerden. Van der Eerden to Isaac Johnson. Johnson looking for Arthur. Arthur tries to head it. Looks like Stork with it over on the far side. Stork to Johnson. Isaac Johnson pushing and shoving. I think that'll go the way of Baker, and it will. So Isaac Johnson will pick up a foul, and it'll be a free kick for the Wildcats deep in their own territory. Landon Tolbert, freshman defender out of Kansas City, attended Rockhurst High School. He'll come on into this game at some point. We'll see who he replaces. He replaces number 14, Tony Salas. Again, a lot of chattering going on in the, I would say it's the benches, but I think it's more of the stands as Johnson sends this over to Erne, and there's a lot of space over on the far side. Erne is looking for Van der Eerden. Van der Eerden headed away. Johnson maintains possession for CMU. Johnson, Arthur, and it's in. So Liam Arthur just pokes that one, gets enough of a touch on it that just slips past Stoger there in goal, and Isaac Johnson will pick up the assist. And again, back and forth we go. CMU trims the deficit to just one. They trail 3-2 here. Just a little over 23 minutes left in half number 2 in regulation. O'Toole up to Arthur. Arthur over to Erne, and that all started with a pass from Erne up top to Van der Eerden to kind of get it going. Erne to Schimmel. Schimmel headed again. Looking for Arthur. Baker will have another substitution. That'll be number 15, Ethan Hensel. And we'll get a stoppage and play on the clock as we tend to an injured Wildcat. And I think that was Mason Anderson again. Again, he was injured in the first half. Not sure if he got stepped on or whatever the case may be, but he is slow to get up as CMU's going to sprint over and grab some water here on the sideline before we resume action. But the official's making his way over, so I imagine the resumption of this game will be rather quick. So we'll take a look at Anderson here. So we'll take a quick break as they tend to him. You're listening to CMU Eagles Men's Soccer here on the Heart Conference Network. So we resume action here. Anderson comes off. So Anderson comes off. He's replaced by number 14, Tony Salas, who actually started this game. So he came off for a brief moment, but now he's back. Back and forth affair here in the second half. Both of these programs trading punches, and we'll get I believe, a yellow card. We will. We'll see if we can get a number on that. So again, Martin O'Toole is going to be assessed a yellow card. Yes, he did. And then Milan Nikolic for Baker previously was also assessed a yellow. So again, 2 yellows in the span of about 15 seconds. So a quick reset there of the clock, 21:45. Yep, you had a yellow on number 29 of Baker and then Toole of number 2 of CMU. So again, it seems that our yellow cards come in spurts, and in that case, and we had 2 in about the span of 12 seconds. But again, it's a physical game. It's the Heart of America Athletic Conference, and it's men's soccer action, so always high intensity. Especially as we get into the thick of conference play here within the next couple weeks. So 2 very rich programs with a lot of soccer history between them both. Good job by Cabras just to scoop that one up, prevent any push from the Wildcats. That's O'Toole. Again, a jersey pull from Baker. Johnson, quick throw into Stork. Again, a lot of jersey pulling, so I assume at some point we'll have a few more cards issued, because it's just, everyone's laughing at me, but I think it's just a simple fact. So, but again, if you guys are watching at home and you like physical soccer, you're in exactly the right spot. Grab some popcorn, crack a LaCroix. A LaCroix is also sparkling water, so for all you people thinking otherwise, incorrect. It's good. It's good. So, back to it. Baker will get a corner kick on the far side. We're at 19:43 on the clock. CMU trails 3-2. Baker an opportunity to set piece here. This ball sent into the box. And we'll get a foul going the other way, and 99% of the time those will go in favor of the team on defense. So Nicolo Cabras looking to work quickly. The ball is sent up. Falco Daiku sporting the captain's armband this evening. And we'll have a stoppage in play. Tony Salas, he came in for Mason Anderson, who was injured. Ball's back in play, so Salas with O'Toole defending. Ball sent across on the far side. Ball deflected. Baker still with possession. They're inside the box, needs to get cleared. Somewhat cleared. Gets out of initial danger for the Eagles. Ball sent in, across the face of goal. O'Toole trying to chase that one down. He can't, though. It'll go in favor of the Eagles on this throw-in. Dicuse. Dicuse. Again, that ball's headed out, so it's been a throw-in contest, and you can hear the chirping from the Baker crowd here as O'Toole's trying to sneak up. Alicia Gall, I appreciate you tuning in. Of course, the wife of head coach Adam Gall is also our social media specialist on campus. Has helped us do a rebrand of all of our social media channels. If you guys ever look up CMU Eagles Athletics, it seems to be much easier now to find your teams. You can simply just type in CMU Eagles and they'll all pop up instantly. So changing usernames, changing profile pictures to the Eagle head. Alicia was a big part of that, and she just messaged me and said, I will not be drinking a LaCroix, but we will convince you at some point. It will happen. So you may refuse tonight, but we'll get it eventually, so no worries. Just relax. We have all fall. Schimmel. Parojo right there. Baker tried to send one upfield, but Bechter tracks that one down and sends it over to Aaron. Again, CMU looking for the equalizer here. Parojo looking for Aaron. And again, another stoppage in play, and we'll see what happens here. And again, I don't know if there's too much chit-chat going on or if it's a delay, but the official sprinted down to the end of the field to have a visit with Stoger. That'll be a foul on Stork as he was trying to go the other way, jumped up, and again, the chippiness of this game is at a very intense level as we come a little over 15 minutes left here in second half. Again, CMU's responded nicely here. They just need to put together a couple more goals, but Baker has responded well in each of those instances. And some of those coming off of a set piece. One of them was an own goal by the Eagles in the first half. So we'll see. Salas is going to throw this one in. Ball sent in. Still up for grabs. Again, Johnson giving chase. We'll see if Stoker can beat him, and he does, so he'll just clear that on the other end of the field. So Baker and CMU both drew in their openers. Cabras, good job by Cabras to snag that one out of the air. He's looking to move quickly. Parojo over to O'Toole. O'Toole sends this one up. Not sure what happened with the offense. Everyone just kind of stopped there for a minute. But CMU maintains possession. Dicuse with it. Goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats. Again, both sides drew in their conference opener. Eagles 1-1 up at Mount Mercy, and then Baker at home against William Penn. And great. Hunter French re-enters this game. And he replaces number 22, Finn Gaywood. So starter coming back in that originally played in the first half. Kamaris. Erne with it now. Erne up looking for Vander Earden. Again, another stoppage in play, and Jayton Johnson, he'll come onto the pitch. We'll see who he replaces. Looks like it'll be Martin O'Toole, number 2, so he'll come off. So, quick injury break, as I think that was Dykhuis that was injured. I think he's got to come off since he came down and we had to stop play. 12:52 left on the clock. So we'll resume action here on this free kick from Stoger. Again, CMU 2 second half goals. Baker responded with a goal of their own. CMU responded nicely, though, after trailing 2-0 in the first half. They need one more to salvage a tie. Tackle from the Wildcats. That's to Penny. And this is going to be a strike. And good job by Cabras to knock that one down. A low driving line shot right at him. And CMU's looking to counter quickly. But again, CMU just not able to get downfield quickly enough to beat out Baker. We'll see if they can do something here. And we'll get another foul called, I believe. Oh, let's go 17. So again, we'll get a foul on Central, so Baker will get a free kick from about the 20. Matthias Stork on the foul, so that'll be Tony Salas on the free kick here. So Jayton Johnson is lurking behind. It's kind of unusual. I've never seen that before. Salas doesn't like it. We'll see if the official lets it go. Salas sends this one in. Headed. Too far and wide. It'll be a goal kick for Central. Will get a substitution for the Eagles. We'll see who this is as soon as they take off their penny. I believe that's Leonardo Chuli. And it is. He replaces Alvaro Parojo. Correct. And then Mo Salas, he'll come back on for Baker at some point. Matthias Stork with it now. He dribbles down the near side. Stork. Nice tackle by Lily Beer. Down in their own corner. That'll be a goal kick for the Wildcats. So just under 10 minutes remaining. CMU trails 3-2. So Mo Salas will come on. He'll replace number 15, Ethan Hensel. Stoger sends this one. Vander Earden. Back to Erne. Erne over to Stock. Stock to Isaac Johnson. Johnson donning the captain's armband this evening. Johnson. It's Jayton Johnson this time. Isaac Johnson throws it in. Was looking for Arthur. Chuli's also lurking in the area. And again, just suffocating defense from the Wildcats. So CMU's got to find a seam here. Got about 8.5 minutes to work with here. Adrian Stock will send it back to Cabras. Flick from Arthur. He was looking for Johnson. No one home, though. That ball goes over everyone's head. Just hit the 8-minute mark here. 37 minutes gone. CMU 2 second-half goals to jump back into this game, but Baker responded with a goal nicely, and up 3-2. Johnson. That'll go out of bounds in favor of the Eagles, though. Quick throw-in. He'll send it into Stork on the near sideline. Matthias Stork. Deflected. I think that'll be a corner, though, for Central, and it will be deep in their own territory, deep in Wildcat territory. We'll see who elects to take this. Looks like Basil Erne on the corner. Sends a left-footed strike into the box. Headed. Yes, on 6. The Eagles will win that throw-in. Johnson. It's Jayton Johnson on the throw-in. Again, Arthur seems to be the featured target here. Bechter. Over to Isaac Johnson. Johnson with the header. Stock. Over to Erne. Stock with the shot, deflected. Vander Earden gives CMU possession and maintains possession. Just under 6.5 minutes remaining. Over to Schimmel. Schimmel dribbles up the near side. Far side. Schimmel. Nice move on his defender. Schimmel. Looking for Isaac Johnson. Headed too high, though. And again, a good idea from Schimmel to Johnson. Just a little bit too much on that. Just couldn't quite get that ball down. So it'll be a goal kick for the Wildcats. Ball goes out. So Dykes will throw it in for the Wildcats. Again, this would be a big win for Baker if they can hold on. They've got about 5.5 minutes to do so. CMU trying to salvage the match with a tie, or if they can put together a couple nice scoring plays, come out with a win. They've got about 5 minutes to work with here, and this game will only ramp up with intensity as the clock gets closer to 0. So we'll see. Ball turned over Wildcats with possession now. Ernay giving chase. That's Bechter. Bechter was looking for Arthur. Good job by Dykes to come away with that. Turns it over, though, and that's Ernay with it now. Ernay dribbling. He's got some space. Up to Schimmel. Schimmel. Looking for help. That's Chuli. Leonardo Chuli. Chuli sends one in. Headed out. Eagles maintain possession. That'll be a throw in. And again, a stoppage in play. We'll have another injured Wildcat. So 4:16 left on the clock. And I think we'll have a substitution come on. We'll see who this is. It's going to be number 15, Ethan Hensel, who actually just came off. He's going to trot his way back on. And he's going to replace team captain Falco Dykes. .416 left on the clock. It'll be a throw-in for Central. Isaac Johnson, CMU looking for the equalizer here. Isaac Johnson throws it in, goes into the box, headed out. Johnson again. Right at Stoger, though. Stoger will just sit on that one. 4 minutes left. Again, this would be a big win if you're a Wildcat fan. French. Over to Kamaris. Ball goes out. Will stay with the Wildcats. Again, the intensity ramps up. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the headset, but there is a lot of chatter in the bleachers. So, again, another stoppage in play. 3:25 left. I don't think our head official will allow for much time wasting. Providing instruction to, I believe that's Hunter French over there in Vander Eerden. It is. So Tony Salas will throw this one in. And Kamaris, it's a strike, but way offline, so goal kick for the Eagles. Ball sent over to Ernay. 3 minutes left. Over to Isaac Johnson here on the near side. Johnson. Sent that into no man's land, and Baker will retain possession. Over to Kamaris. Kamaris back to French. And CMU's got to work quickly here to try to get possession back. Liam Arthur's been a focal point this evening. French. Over to Kamaris. Kamaris with Johnson giving chase. We'll see if he can keep it in. He does. Johnson will send it to Cabras, who moves quickly, gets it up to Ernay on the far side. Ernay. Over to Chuli. Chuli looking for Schimmel. A ball cleared, though, by Baker. It'll be a throw-in for the Eagles, though. 2 minutes left here. See me trying to find the equalizer in the closing 120 seconds. There's Vander Eerden. Over to Johnson. Johnson on the near side. Stork. Matthias Stork. He's had some goal-scoring opportunities late. Jayton Johnson. Over to Vander Eerden. Arthur. Vander Eerden. Up to Schimmel. Schimmel with a strike. Deflected. Eagles still with possession here. 90 seconds left. Johnson up to stock, and Coach Galla imploring his team to get forward. Schimmel goes out, and that'll be a goal kick for Baker. And we'll get a stoppage in play. 1:06 left on the clock. Again, a soccer ball was not able to be found in the immediate area, so we stopped play to locate one. Dicus will return. He replaces French. And we'll resume action here on the clock once that ball is kicked. 1 minute remaining. So CMU's 60 seconds to work with. Baker, if they're smart, they'll just go down to the corner, try to time waste. And that's exactly what Dicus does. That'll go in the favor of CMU, though. They've got 40 seconds to work with. And Jayton Johnson, I think he'll get called for the foul. And we'll get a stoppage in play. There's some pushing and shoving over here on the near side. Johnson was trying to find a ball, and again, I told you guys, it's physical soccer here in the closing minutes. So he'll have a conversation with Johnson and Tony Salas of Baker. So again, a stoppage in play. CMU's got 34 seconds to work with. Baker with possession, though. They'll get this on the free kick. Clock starts. About 30 seconds left. Ball will go in favor of CMU. So this is their last offensive push. They have not much time left. Johnson throws it into Arthur. Cleared by Baker. Johnson comes away with it. 20 seconds left now. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's going to do it here from Davis Field. Baker comes in and scores 2 first-half goals to really put this one away. 3 in the So, an intense game here as we wrap things up. Baker comes into Davis Field and knocks off the number 24 nationally ranked Eagles. So we'll pull up some quick stats here as we wrap this game up. A signature win for the Wildcats, a tough loss for CMU here as they drop to 3-2 overall. 0-1-1 in conference play, while the Wildcats are going to improve to 5-1-3 and 1-0-1 in conference play. So we'll pull up some quick stats for you folks as we conclude this evening's matches. If I can find them here. So CMU, 19 shots compared to just 10 for Baker, but Baker more efficient in terms of offensive push. 7 shots on goal, 7 for CMU. A few great saves from Stoger of Baker, and that own goal I think might have been the difference maker here tonight for the Eagles. 8 corner kicks for CMU, so they had the advantage there on set pieces. No offsides, but 29 combined fouls and 6 total yellow cards between the sides. So a tough loss for the Eagles. They'll look to bounce back as they hit the road and take on Mid-America Nazarene. Again, that's another top 10. That's a top 10 matchup against the Pioneers in Olathe. So that'll do it from here. Big shout out to my team for all that they do. Kelly Reyes on the broadcast producing, Ozzy Barella running our camera, and then added a new feature, a sideline cam for intros. That was all run by my student intern and our CMU ASA president, KJ Johnson. So big thank you to her. Clara Crowley and Caitlin Streeter running the scoreboard and the stats this evening. So that's going to do it here from Davis Field. This is Rachel Moore, Assistant AD and Director of Athletic Communications here at Central. Appreciating you guys tuning into the broadcast. Final score here, Baker comes away with a 3-2 win over the number 24 ranked Central Methodist Eagles. So that'll do it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. You've been listening to CMU Eagles Men's Soccer here on the Hart Conference Network.